next to some of the northernmost waters of the beautiful Chesapeake Bay. We're at M&T Bank Stadium near Baltimore's Inner Harbor. Today, a good scrap in the AFC North between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Ball is teed up, Chris Boswell to do the honors. And we're off from Baltimore. On the return, here comes Justice Hill. Good work so far, he's got room. And the tackle's made as he gets it out to the 32. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Now here's Keaton Mitchell with the run. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down. Here's Mitchell again. He's got room to roam here. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs.
Best run games in this league at balance. Can run it inside, and as they just showed right there, doing damage on the outside.
First and 10 from the 41. Give right up the gut to Hill. He still has room inside the 30. And they're going to be set up just outside that red zone.
You know, Kate, if you notice those guys that love to feed themselves on the field, right? They love to just get more and more. They're hungry for even more. I'll tell you what, that tackle, it prevented something that's going to be a lot bigger, but that back remains hungry.
Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Here's 2nd and 10 from the 21. Mitchell gets it from the gun. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Play brought to an end by Jalen Ramsey.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door.
Thrown right, and it's intercepted. Patrick Queen in to pick it off. And the Steelers have it as he records his 7th interception of the season. Well, how quickly things can change. They were looking so good just a couple of plays ago, and suddenly, not anymore. A red zone look comes up empty with that interception.
I think the pressure got to him there, Kate, and I don't even mean all those pass rushers, although they were certainly coming too. I mean the pressure of being 3rd down in the red zone. That's where you got to slow yourself down as a quarterback and know you've got to simply protect the football.
Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9. A give, this is Johnson. And this is going to get him right up near that 1st down, but he's marked short after a gain of 7, 3rd down.
Some offenses, well, they prefer to go run in that RPO situation. It's a safer call, a little more conservative, but in this case, it gets him just as many yards as a short completion would have.
Short yardage situation here, it's 3rd and 2. On the ground again with Johnson. He's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston and an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. Shotgun snap here to Milton. Forced out to his right. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And they've got a little extra distance now to make up here on 2nd down.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now, well, now we let the chess match begin, the adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
They'll find Johnson out of the backfield. And they don't get any help on this 2nd down, Brock. He is out right along the line, so no gain.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
Here he is on 3rd and long. He's trying to push the field. And they really went for it on 3rd down, didn't they? But the heave falls incomplete. Now they're facing 4th down. Well, I am flipping through, Brock. That certainly wasn't in the offense's opening script, but if you're a defender, just how you wrote it up.
Yeah, defensively, that was a week of practice and planning visualized and executed in real time.
On 4th down, it's Corliss Waitman on for the Steelers to punt this away. And this will put an end to the drive after it's stalled out. He's got it near midfield. And a big hit on the return to stop him cold. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. First and 10, here's Jackson. His pass is complete. That's Zay Flowers. And he is brought to a stop after he found plenty of room there to run. It's like you always say, right back to work for him. Getting a drive moving like that turnover never happened.
And they weren't going to shy away from letting him do his thing, throwing the football. Mistakes happen in this league and in this game. And you never want to punish a quarterback for making a mistake. You want to see him continue to produce.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Running out of the gun with Mitchell. And this one's going the wrong way. Nice win for that defense as they send him backwards.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline and his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
And they bring him down at the 18-yard line.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that. And it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
Third and 10. Can this offense get it done? Lamar now from the gun. Oh, they got it. Intercepted along the goal line. And the Steelers will take over as he records his first interception of our season.
That's one of those drives, Kate, especially on the opening drive. You come to the sidelines, and all you're thinking about, unfortunately, is the failure at the end. It's kind of like being a student. You're so good all semester, and then you just bomb the final exam.
Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's 1st and 10. Drive begins with a run by Johnson. And he's going to be brought down here at the 42. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that's a Steelers first down. Here's Johnson again. And he'll stay upright through this rain, but not through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard gain. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
And this one too far in front of him. It's incomplete. DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long.
Kate, this quarterback gets out of the pocket, genuinely a coin toss, whether he's going to keep it with his legs or put in the air. Sigh of relief there defensively as that ball falls incomplete.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Out of the gun, it's Milton. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he's going to run for it. And he doesn't slide down, and he pays for it. A big shot sends him to the ground.
Well, this is in every quarterback's tool belt, even the ones not regarded as the best movers and shakers. But, Kate, to play QB in the league today, you've got to be able to do this. If you've got nobody open, still get some positive yards with your legs.
And he's hit before he can get anything on that return. Ravens to the line now. 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. And he let his man just a little too much there. That's an incomplete pass. Now is Zay Flowers the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
That's a throw at this level. With so much speed and length, you got to be real careful. Rarely do you find a clean window down the middle. Got to be absolutely perfect, and it wasn't there.
2nd and 10 now. Buys time, rolling right. He's going to keep it this time. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain.
He made something out of that play for them. Everyone's so concerned with defending the pass, they didn't quite keep tabs on what he was doing as a QB, and it gave him just enough room to run.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Jackson. Completed over the middle. And this does not get it. Looking short field, but the defender is there to force this 4th down. At beginning the 2nd quarter, Ravens in possession. They're looking at a punt, though, facing 4th down. They needed 3 punts out of him in last week's loss as he sends this away. And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. The Steelers with some very good field position as they get set, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Into the hands of Pat Freiermuth. And he's forced out of bounds after picking up about 7.
That is a textbook 1st down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the gun, Johnson. Juke the defender. And And this great effort winds up getting him well into enemy territory before he's brought down. The big play nets him 17 yards. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down. Shotgun handoff to Johnson. Quite the turnaround these last two plays, huh? Nice gain on one, and now they get him behind the line.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
Looking for him on the screen there, but it's incomplete, so second down produces nothing. Back to the huddle they go for third down.
Kid, I'm just kind of laughing because I could feel the armchair quarterbacks going, I can make that throw. And anybody who's actually made those throws says you have no idea what it feels like with everybody breathing down your neck. That play's got to be right, timed up right, and it certainly wasn't.
Hilton now on third down. He steps in and makes the interception. Bilal Kone with the INT. And the Ravens are going to have it. And he's going to hang on to that football. That's his first career interception.
Kid, I got a pretty good idea that he is not letting go of that football. It's headed for his mantle or maybe his family. That's a guy who was a day 3 pick. Weren't even 100% sure he's going to make the roster. And we just saw him get the first interception of his career. What a moment.
Mitchell up the middle. Well, these drives quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line.
Hey, range is not an optional feature for middle linebackers in today's game. It's a prerequisite for the job. And this guy definitely has it. Followed that play from the start, and he ended it with a loss.
Gave away a couple on the first down run. Now it's going to be 2nd and 12. Here's Jackson to throw. Setting up the screen. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41.
Well, this is the type of game we've come to expect from him as a runner, toting the ball, but he's just as adept at turning the screen into the same kind of yardage, too.
Extra man in the secondary for the Steelers. Third down coming up. From the gun, Jackson. Chased out to his right. He's running for it. Tackle made at the 10. First and goal coming up.
Well, the field opened up, and he simply takes off. Even in today's NFL, where dual-threat quarterbacks are everywhere, it's not often a guy can rip off a run like that.
To the line we go. They're set. First and 10. A give to Mitchell, running left. Well, so much for finishing things on the ground, huh? He is stopped at the line. They're going to have to regroup now on 2nd and goal.
Sometimes you just feel like in the background of every ho-hum run is a bigger play that just needed one more component. Hit that extra block a little longer, find the lane quicker. The defender may be a half step late, and this could have been much, much more exciting.
Setting up the screen, it's Flowers. And they'll get there and stop him at the line.
You call that receiver screen, and every once in a while, that wide receiver, well, he's got to be his own blocker. He's got to make the first guy or two miss. That didn't happen, play goes nowhere.
Mitchell takes it straight ahead. Ooh, no luck. He tried. He was fighting, but they send him backwards on 3rd and goal.
His goal's pretty clear, Kate. Crash forward and then crash inside. Set that edge, but if you could come inside and bury that runner before it gets started, all the better. Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
Here's Miller on the return. Good work so far. He's got room. All right, so they're going to take over at the 39. Nice effort there. The Steelers with some very good field position as they get set, 1st and 10. First play, they go quick out to the left, complete. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Off the play fake, here's Milton. On the move, headed right. He's running with it, and that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that first down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
Going to the ground again on first. And they make the stop after giving up 6 yards. Good run on first. It's 2nd down.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run in crossing that first down marker.
2nd and 3. Completed to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down.
A play like this, that's exactly where you want to get him the ball, right on the outside, where he's got the space and a lot more room to work.
New set of downs awaits him. Here's 1st and 10. Now Milton to throw. It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. And the Ravens get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season. Man, these guys just can't get out of their own way right now, and we both know it's only going to hurt worse as this game rolls on.
Yeah, kind of stuck in a loop right now. And I don't care what sport it is. If it's golf, if it's shooting a free throw, bat and baseball, like you grip it tight and you grip that ball tight, usually bad things follow.
And some excellent work to drive them all the way up past the 30-yard line. They get 13 on the pickup, and that'll be 1st down, Baltimore.
Kate, a run like that, just everybody gets to breathe. Things become so much easier when you start a drive with momentum like that.
Escapes the pocket. Did not like what he was seeing, Brock, and he just hurls this one away.
Kate, I gotta believe he hearkened back to that earlier pick and thought the better of making another. Getting outside the pocket, he was either gonna try to run for it, had nowhere to go, so he simply threw it away.
After the incompletion, still at that 31-yard line, 2nd and 10. Play action now with Jackson. Flushed out of the pocket. Oh, look at this. Here he goes. And that will not be enough for a 1st down.
You know, that may have been a situation when you look back on it, he watches the tape the next day, and he's got to find a way to throw the ball because his running ability, while it gets him some yards, is not enough to get the 1st down.
Now Jackson on 3rd down. Getting out to his left. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up. Baltimore lined up in punt formation. And he's getting the call for the 2nd time this game. And he drives this one into the pouring rain. Looking to return from the 29. And he puts together a nice little return there before they're able to bring him down. The Steelers with some very good field position as they get set, 1st and 10. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. Brought in inside the 20. And he's all the way home. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers get some late points in the lead. Roman Wilson, the touchdown. Point after up and good from Boswell. And the Steelers take a 4-point lead. Now Boswell on to send this away. Has this at the 6. They'll bottle him up just as he gets it to the 30. Only half a minute to go in our half. Let's see how they begin the drive. First down, here's Lamar. To the left and hauled in by Likely. Rolling into enemy territory. Hits the 20. And they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens take the lead just before halftime.
I think he'll take his highlights however he can get them on a handoff, pin-off, a pass. It really doesn't matter. The important thing is he gets the ball, he gets the touch, and then he can do his damage. Big time.
That is Tyler Luke, now on for the extra point. Got a good plant in the rain there. The extra point flies through. And the Ravens push their lead to 3. Stout all set to send this one away. Here's Miller on the return. Finds some space, he's past the 30. Coverage team tracking him down as he reaches the 35. This drive starts with barely any time left. 13 seconds in the half. Here's Milton, first and 10. Launches one deep downfield. He's got it inside the 25. Timeout called by the offense, and with another timeout available, they could actually get another 2 plays if they work quick.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
He rolls to his right. Oh, they got it. Intercepted along the goal line. Bilal Kone with the INT. And the Ravens do not get the return all the way back. That's going to bring us to the end of our first half. Stout all set to send this one away. Dante Kent with a return. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. All right, Steelers to the line now. First and 10. They kick the running back in motion. Oh, he taps it quick to the receiver coming across here. And he'll stay upright through this rain, but not through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard gain. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. They're running out of the pistol with Johnson. And he's unable to get away from that tackle. Good work by the defense. Nothing gained on 2nd down.
I know these DNs love to get to the quarterback. I know that sacks many times equals a bigger payday. But doing the dirty work, playing the run well, that's what the best of the ends do in this league.
3rd and long for him here. He lets one fly deep downfield. That's grabbed inside the 30.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Johnson gets it on 1st and 10. This is tough running in this weather out there, but he keeps the feet moving, gains 3. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7. Shotgun snap here to Milton. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
To the air, 3rd and long. Dropping this underneath, Johnson. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. Give him 13 on that play. And that's a Steelers' 1st down.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on a defense.
And they bring him down at the 7-yard line.
As an offense, you don't call a screen, Kate, expecting to gain just a few yards. You call it expecting to break out something big and substantial. But it's up to that defense to stay ahead of it, to keep it contained to something much smaller. Case in point right there.
Out of the gun, it's Milton. Pass it down close. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers take the lead right away in half number 2. Pat Freiermuth, the touchdown. Boswell gets that point after to go. And the Steelers take a 4-point lead. Now Boswell on to send this away. Hill now to return it. Good work so far. He's got room. And he brought this one almost to midfield before he's tackled.
When you get contributions like that out of your kickoff returner, it is such a boost to an offense. This is about showing no fear, hitting the lane hard, a determined run back, and setting your offense up with great field position.
Forced out to his right. Now here he goes. And he is stopped with authority there, but that stop came later than they'd like as he gets a good bit and that 1st down. It's a pickup of 11, and that's good for a Ravens 1st down. Shotgun snap to Jackson. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And they're going to be forced to regroup a bit ahead of 2nd down.
Wow, it has been such a good day offensively for the guys up front. That's actually the first sack by this defense. And now comes the real question mark. Will it lead to more? Or will this offense learn a lesson and get back to the rhythm they've been in protecting?
We've got a screen to the running back. And they're all over that screen, Brock. Didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Kate, that's one of those situations as a quarterback that on my grade sheet, that's a negative. That screen was ambushed by the defense, and you've got to throw it away. Just find a way to put it at his feet and not create a negative play for your offense.
This offense looking to convert as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Jackson. Buys time, rolling right. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. 4th down coming up.
This defense, they had a plan, and they've done an excellent job executing it. Instead of a main character, they've reduced this receiver to a footnote. Kudos to the job collectively on defense.
Takes this in at the 25. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. It gives it Johnson to start this drive. And he finds him 6 yards on that 1st down run.
Cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity in the playbook, whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
It's Johnson on 2nd down. Defender gets to him right around the line. It's going to be marked as no gain, so Brock, that means third down coming up. Milton. They'll find Johnson out of the backfield. And he will not get them to that marker. Heck, all he can do is get back to the line. Fourth down. The Steelers set to punt it. Corliss Waitman will kick it away. And a big hit on the return to stop him cold. All right, working from the gun to start. First and 10. Lamar now from the gun. Hits his running back. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
I know that completion doesn't move the chains. I love it nonetheless. You make sure that defense is aware of every eligible player going out. And this time it was out of the backfield with a running back that shows he's adept at catching it as well.
Hand off on second and short. Nice seam in the defense as he crosses the 45. 20, 15. He does it. Touchdown, Baltimore. The Ravens just need 2 snaps to steal the lead. Zay Flowers, the touchdown. A game-breaking play there, stunning the defense and giving this offense one for the highlight reel, baby.
Yep, just put another one on there, Cade. He is a threat to score anytime he touches the ball. The defense, well, they had him ready to go. They were ready to body him up in coverage, but receivers today, and we see it all the time, the best of them, they don't just do it through the air. They can use their legs as a weapon. That's a big-time touchdown run.
Things going well so far. Past midfield, and he's got space. At the 20. Touchdown! They return the kick all the way to the house. Well, when it's set up perfectly, Brock, and you get an exciting return man back there fielding it, wow, there are not many plays in football more exciting than taking a kick back for 6.
Find those blockers, follow those blockers, and then step on the gas. So simple for me to describe, yet so tough to execute on the field.
Hill now to return it. Jukes one defender. This manages to get just beyond that 30-yard line. Got first down from the 31. Handoff here to Mitchell. And he manages 6 yards to begin this one. We've got second and 4.
That is simply a stay-on-schedule kind of run. Nothing more, nothing less, just right on schedule.
Run picks up 6, so that means it's second and 4. Again, this is Mitchell. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. That stop made by T.J. Watt. Third and just 2 to go. Jackson looking to throw. Rolling left, buying some time. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he's able to move past the 45 before going out. Give him 8 yards on the play. And that'll be first down, Baltimore. Running out of the gun with Mitchell. This is tough running in this weather out there, but he keeps the feet moving, gains 3. 3 yards on the first down play, and that brings up second and 7. So we're through 3 here. It's the Ravens' ball. They come in trailing, but that lead is within reach. After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7. Here's Mitchell again. No one around. He's got space. And he's taken down as he takes this to the 38. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Danger, Kate. Danger, I say. You get this guy in the open field, and he is dangerous to take it to the house.
Lamar off the play fake. Pass into the hands of Mark Andrews. And he's going to be stopped, but not before he gets it down to the 14. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
On first down, Jackson. Flush down out to his left. He's keeping it. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
Oh man, those defensive players hate slippery quarterbacks. Near impossible to keep them hedged in or corral them behind the line there. He evades them long enough to turn a potential loss into positive yardage.
From the gun, Jackson. Nothing doing there as the second down pass falls incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
They're holding strong here. The defense gets him at the line. That's going to bring up 4th down.
Like the final battle scene from a movie, Kate, 2 sides charging each other, and they beat right at that line. And they didn't have to drive backward, All they had to do was hold the line to go win that battle.
Here's Tyler Loop in a high-pressure spot. He's hit once already. This is a short one, inside of 30 yards.
I bet you, Kate, if we were down there right in his mind as that ball sailed good through the uprights, his mind was already thinking about the next one. If this score holds and he gets another opportunity, well, the game could be on the line with that one.
Here's Miller on the return. Good work so far. He's got room. They're going to track him down, but a nice effort in the end there, Brock. He's up to the 38. The Steelers with some very good field position as they get set, 1st and 10. Here's Milton. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the drive begins with a rough first step there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
Send everybody deep. I know he wants to wait and stretch the field and use his arm. Trouble is, you wait too long, you end up on your back.
And it is intercepted, but he couldn't stay in bounds. Ooh, offense catches a break there. This one misses the tight end. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
I hate to be Mr. Negative guy, but a sack 2 plays ago, an incompletion right there. All that's missing, Kate, is an interception on this play, and you're going to hand this quarterback a misfortune trifecta that nobody wants.
Here he is on 3rd and long. Chased out to his right. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
That's what I call complementary defense right there. That pressure by the group up front, that leads to the incompletion and to the benefit of that secondary.
They're out now, ready to punt it. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. The Ravens in very good field position as they come up 1st and 10. Give right up the gut to Hill. And he's all the way across midfield, down inside that 45-yard line. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
Simply put, Kate, that is a drive starter extraordinaire.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. First down throw for Jackson. Off to the races, middle of the field. And they take this in for the score. The Ravens take a fourth-quarter lead. It's a Lamar Jackson touchdown. Well, Brock, it looked like it took the full defense a while to recognize that he was actually running with it. I think it limited their ability to stop what turned into a pretty impressive touchdown.
I think you're exactly right on this one, Kate. Not too many scrambles go this far for a touchdown. And you got to give some credit to the guys around him. None of those receivers, tight ends, well, they just sold it. They didn't look back at him, had they? I think the defense is able to react and stop that touchdown. Instead, that's 6 big points on the board.
They want to run it across. And he gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. That puts them in a much better spot now. Up 7 here in the 4th. Defense perhaps a little too worried about the pass there, partner. And as a result, they're able to run it in for 2.
It really becomes a numbers game down here. And you see a lot of teams employ this, right? If there's numbers there against the pass, we're going to be committed to running. If they stack the box, we got to be willing to throw it. In this case, it was a numbers advantage and the simplest path for 2 points.
Past the 30 and still going. And he's out of bounds. So close to making that house call. It's at the 3.
Kid, I know what you were waiting for and what I was waiting for, and that was that official to raise his hand. I think we all assumed that was going to be taken to the house. It wasn't, but it could be in pretty short order because this offense now set up for some serious. Success.
Looking for his wide receiver there. And that makes it 2nd and goal.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal. Running for it with Johnson. And they keep him out of the end zone. Can't even get beyond the line. Touchdown denied.
Well, now things get a little dicey for this offense. 1 down left before a big decision to make. Do you continue to try running it against a front that stopped you, or are you now forced to put the ball in the air?
Big play coming up here as everyone gets set for 3rd and goal. And ooh, this one does not have a chance. They were ready for that one, and the effort brings up 4th down.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers now trailed by just a point in the 4th. It's a DK Metcalf touchdown. So they punch it in for 6, Brock, and now a conversion away from tying this game back up.
This one just has the feel, doesn't it? The makings of a 1-score game in the 4th quarter that could go either way.
That one splits the uprights. And the Steelers tie us up 28-all. Now after tying this game up, they're all set to center away. This return starts at the 5. And this drive will start inside the 25. First look, a little pistol formation as they come to the line. 1st and 10. pistol snap to Jackson. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
As a quarterback, you love when that screen pass is called. At least I used to. And you want to attract that defense and all those guys coming after you. But you also got to find the throwing lane, and he couldn't do it on that one.
Throwing again is Lamar. And again, it's going to hit the ground, incomplete. Looking for his running back, and 2 straight incompletions that made this third down.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Back to throw it. He's able to hit Flowers, caught. And he's going to be sent out of bounds just after he crosses the 35. They get 13 on the pickup, and that's good for a Ravens first down. Again, it's Jackson to the air. Escapes the pocket. And the Steelers get home. They drop him. And that sack drives him in the wrong direction, partner, ahead of this second down.
This is one of those examples where the athletic ability and the mental decision-making, Kate, are not in sync. His running, got him out of harm's way, got him outside those defenders. But without the decision-making to just get rid of the football, it creates an enormous loss.
And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. We'll pause now for an injured player, and no problems identifying who this is. It's a big one, folks. It is Lamar Jackson who's shaken up after that one. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Mitchell gets it from the gun. Breaks the tackle, green grass ahead. And he's officially into enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. That's good for 7 yards. And that'll be first down, Baltimore.
He easily had the yardage for a first, but he was hungry for a lot more. I think that tackle prevented something that was going to be a lot bigger than just a first down pickup.
And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Jalen Ramsey comes up with it. And forget the interception. He makes this a pick-6 touchdown. Boswell to add the PAT. Bad weather doesn't affect that extra point. It's good. And the Steelers break that tie and now lead by 7. A quick chance at redemption after that pick-6 as it's sent away. Hill now to return it. He's got a lane up past the 30. Nice effort here. They're going to tackle him just shy of the 35.
Trailing by 1 score late here, Kate. Maybe this is the return. Maybe this is what helps them get right back into it. Good field position now to start their most important series yet of this game.
Mitchell up the middle. They bring him down, but not before he picks up 7, Brock, to begin this drive.
While that run may not have moved the chains, Kate, that is such a confidence builder. Sets the tone for more play action, maybe more runs. That's exactly how you want to start a drive.
That's the 2-minute warning here from Baltimore. Ravens losing by 7. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 42. Ooh, would have been a big gainer if they connected, but they could not. Instead, 3rd down coming up.
You know, there's not a lot of tight ends who are true weapons this far down the field. Not a lot of cover guys who can match up with them in terms of size. They tried to get it to him in a spot where he could win it, but no connection to be made.
It's a gain of only 1 yard. That's going to leave him with a 4th and 2. And that offense isn't budging. They're going for it. Desperation time here on 4th. This is completed downfield to Likely. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. Left the offense out there on 4th down, Brock, and look at the result. A big gain. They got 15 and the first. taken in by Mitchell, right side. And he maybe got back to the line there, but no further. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll meet and decide what to do on this second down. Here he is to throw. And this one's incomplete. Too low as it skips off the ground. He was looking for Zay Flowers. So now it's going to be 3rd and long.
You hear defensive coaches on every practice field we're on preach not giving up the big play, especially at the NFL level. They'll need to stay vigilant because they're definitely going to use that receiver to take the lid off this defense again.
Try and push it deep downfield. Well, they had the look, certainly didn't shy away from it, but couldn't connect, and now they're stuck facing 4th down.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back into rhythm.
Here he goes. Gotta have this on 4th down. Pass complete to Walker. And they are sent off the field. They had to go for it. Defense knew it was coming. That's a turnover on downs. Now we're going to have a timeout taken by Baltimore. It's 2nd. He's down to a knee, and the Steelers getting ready to celebrate this victory.
They could stop the clock now if they choose. In the final moments of the game, every second counts. If you're going to call a timeout, you want to be right next to that official to signal it in just as that knee goes down.
So the Steelers come in and take this on the road. And they take the first skirmish with their division rivals, with a chance at a sweep awaiting them later in the year.